Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It is Project Bogan with you today, guys. And today I want to talk about this game. I want to preview this game. Racing Club de Santander against Football Club Barcelona. Today I want to talk about Racing Club and their brilliant season, why they are first in Spanish second division, how they knocked out Villarreal from this competition, and can we expect easy game tomorrow, or can we expect a game where Football Club Barcelona will struggle to create chances? Find out about all of that right now. But first, before I start, I want to say, long time no see. I made 3 videos 4 months ago. They got roughly 150, 170 views overall. Thank you guys. I also gained a lot of subscribers. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And I also made these 2 videos a month ago, but they were more like quick videos where I yapped a lot. I yap all the time if you listen to these videos. The shortest of them is like 11 minutes, and today's video I don't think will be shorter than like 10 to 15 minutes. But all I wanted to say is thank you guys, and we are back on this grind. I will try to make a bit more videos, and your feedback is greatly appreciated. But now let me talk about Racing Club de Santander season. First thing I want to say, like this form that I have had in last 4 games, having 3 draws and 1 defeat actually is very good for us because they had very healthy lead in first place, because if you count the points they have dropped, it is 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3, which together is 9. They could have been like 9 points clear into first place, and they could have easily played their best team against Barcelona tomorrow. But as you can see, they do play Las Palmas, second team in the league, right after Barcelona, so I expect them to rotate. So their bad form actually means that they will rotate and it plays into our hands. But also you have to remember that against La Real they also rotated and they won, which is very, very good result for them. And now let me quickly talk about the stuff, um, basically their stuff and why they are first in the league. First things first, you can see they are deadly. They have scored 45 goals, confidently the most out of any other team. But it is very interesting. It's like Barcelona, right? They score a lot of goals, but also they concede ton, because as you can see, Las Palmas second in the league, they have conceded 13, while Racing Club de Santander have conceded 31. Almeria, 1 goal less, then you go down, you have to go all the way down to the 17th place Albacete to see a team that has conceded more goals. So their football is very attractive, but will it be the case against Barcelona? Will they also play this open football where both teams attack and both teams have a lot of chances? And for me, the answer is no, because when you look at this game, right, okay, they did rotate their team, but they still won against Villarreal, one of the best teams in La Liga right now, playing some of the best football. Of course, Villarreal also rotated. They had La Masia graduate Arnau Tenas in goal. They also had this midfielder in there, Mastia. Altimira doesn't play much. Now, Foyt usually can move there. At times, they didn't have their Renato Vega, who tried to break Lamine Yamal's legs when they played against Barcelona. So they did rotate, but Racing Club also rotated and they did win the game. But for me, to understand how they will play tomorrow, we simply have to look first at this statistics. Villarreal kept 67% of the ball. I mean, new memes, I have to do it. 67% of the ball was kept by Villarreal. Only 33% was kept by Racing Club, and they did play at home. And also, Villarreal created a lot of XG, and they didn't capitalize on their chances because, I mean, when you start players like Jose Perez and Mikel Tadze and also Pepe, you can expect to miss a lot of opportunities. And also you bring on Oluwasei, who is not clinical player at all, and you can see he missed a lot of chances indicated by this bar right here. He missed 2 great chances. Okay, actually one because this was blocked, but this looks to be a very good chance. So L'Oreal could have scored many more goals, but they didn't because they couldn't capitalize on their chances. But like, I mean, football is about momentum, and football is about uh, using and capitalizing on your chances. And if you cannot do it, it's not your opponent's fault, it's your fault. And despite the fact that they created more, they did lose in the end, simply because Racing Club were disciplined and were clinical. This guy, Aranya, scoring 2 goals, brilliant. And probably what shows me the most proof of what we can expect from tomorrow's game is these average positions of both teams. For Villarreal, they had literally 7 players or almost 8 players in opponent's half, whilst Racing Club de Santander only had 3 players, their striker, their midfielder, and their winger. So this indicates that they did play in this mid to low block. As you can see, defenders played a lot in their own box, even the left back or left midfielder, they actually played very, very close to each other, close proximity. But I'm guessing number 15 was there. Let's turn it around. Right back for the game, and this guy was their right midfielder for the game. This guy was indefinitely their left back, and as you can see, they did manage to defend in this relatively compact shape. And despite the fact that Villarreal got their chances, they couldn't score, so they didn't win. So it is impressive performance from them, but you have to remember that their opponents were not clinical, and also they did play in low block. And now let me talk about this game right here. For me, I do think we can expect a game where Racing Club will adapt and they will not play their usual football, full throttle, attacking, interesting game where both teams in overall score like 6 to 5 goals. And I don't expect it to be like 3-2, 4-2. I don't think it will be the case. For me, I do think they will do something similar that they did against Villarreal right here. They will play low block. In my opinion, they will not play this team. This guy is former Barcelona goalkeeper, La Masia player. I don't expect many of these players to start. Maybe they will think that this game is big against Barcelona, but I do think this game for them is more important to stay first in the league, and they will rotate for Barcelona game, which could mean be counterintuitive, but I don't think they will play their strongest team here. I do think they will play their strongest team right here. So for me, what they will do, they will line up something along the lines of this team, and they will play a relatively low block against Barcelona. And this possible lineup I don't like from Barcelona because I don't think Hansi Flick will go as strong, but also, like as you can see, how many rotations are here. Like Rashford is not a usual starter, Lewandowski isn't, basically front three isn't our usual starters. In midfield, you could say like Dani Olmo, Fermin, but Dani Olmo is coming back from the injury, so he's not an usual starter. Eric is, and then defense is pretty much our the best, except the fact that our best gala defense for now is moving Eric here, and then in midfield putting in Rick de Jong probably, and then goalie Juan Garcia. I don't agree with the lineup, but before I talk about lineup and what we can expect from Barcelona, let me drink some coffee because coffee keeps me awake. Let me take a quick break. As you can see, referee will be Jose Maria Sanchez Martinez. He is not the best referee, but he is not as bad as Hernandez. In my opinion, Hernandez is the worst referee in La Liga. Random fact for all of you before I drink my coffee. Thank you. Now let's keep going. I'm here on the tactical board, and this is the team I would personally go for. I would go for Cancelo, Joffre Torrens, Marc Bernal, Marquesado, Dani Olmo, Ferran, Rashford, and Rooney Bardghji. Why? Because Szczęsny, you have to play Szczęsny because he's your second goalkeeper, and you cannot go for Marc-Andre ter Stegen because you make things very ugly. And if you play ter Stegen in this game, you simply show him, okay, if something happens to Juan Garcia or he's not in form or we need our second goalkeeper, then I will be the second goalkeeper. And in my opinion, you absolutely cannot have this kind of situation because yes, you could argue that ter Stegen is slightly better goalkeeper than Szczęsny, even though I disagree. I do think when it comes down simply to stopping the ball, Szczęsny is better. Ter Stegen might have better reflexes, but when it comes down to having better goalkeeping build and overall better nerves as goalkeeper. Szczęsny is better. Yes, Ter Stegen has better ball playing, but against Racing Club, I don't think it matters a lot. As you can see, I also didn't put any names on Racing Santander players. Sorry, but I simply haven't seen enough of their football this year, so I cannot make many predictions. All I know that they did play attacking football most of the season, and tomorrow they will play slightly more defensive football, but still it will be difficult game for us. And talking about lineup, in my opinion, we should go for Szczęsny, but my gut feeling is telling me that Hansi Flick could be thinking about Ter Stegen. But I think we will stick with Szczęsny. Then I would go for Araujo and Gerard Martin. Araujo, of course, he had his issues, but I would say you have to rest Eric and Kubarsi. That's why I would go for these two. Then right back, he hasn't played for a month, so illogical would be Koundé, but for me, I would start Cancelo for attacking prowess. On the left side, I would give Joffrey a chance. He's somewhere in between the lines of second and third division level, but I do think he can have a good game. In midfield, I would give Casado and Marc Bernal minutes. Flashback to last season when at the start of the season when Hansi Flick came in, the midfield two when Pedri was injured, Frankie was injured, was Bernal and Casado, and they did brilliantly. And then the third midfielder would be Dani Olmo returning from injury, helping these two young kids out, dropping deeper at times and just being good player, gaining some confidence, maybe getting a goal in these areas as he can do. And just basically it's about building fitness, sharpness, and consistency from him. Then Rooney Bardghji absolutely has to start this game because Lamine Yamal injuries, issues. Pubalgia, fitness. He's never 100%. So for me, this is a good game to give him rest. Then up top, simply Ferran. You could go for Leva, but he's 37 and I don't expect Lewandowski to play 2 games in 4 days. So Ferran it is a logical choice, and then Rashford on the wing has to play. Let's be honest, Rafinha just left so much intensity against Real Madrid. Rashford has to play and gain some confidence. So this lineup would be the lineup I would go for, but right now I will tell you the lineup I expect Hansi Flick to go for. Left back, I don't think he will go for Joffre. I don't think he will go for Gerard Martin as a left back. In my opinion, at least, let's put Joffre somewhere there and put Lewandowski there. Now it's like not like beautiful as it was before, goalkeepers, defenders, midfielders, but let Joffre chill there. Then I do think that he will not play Araujo. I do think he will play Eric and Kubarsi. And then right back, I don't think he'll play Cancelo. I do think he will play Koundé. And then you can see, unfortunately, this is the best team we can have. And I don't think he will rest anyone, unfortunately. But maybe he could. I wouldn't be surprised, maybe to see Joffre and then Gerard move to midfield defense, and then Eric rested. But I think this is gonna be defense. In midfield, it becomes tricky because I think he will start one of these two, but I do think he will go like this. In my opinion, he will stick with Casado and Pedri because Casado hasn't played often. And then Cam, I do think he will go for Olmo. And then attack, I actually do think I have got it nailed on. So this is the lineup I expect Hansi Flick to go for. The previous one was the one that I would personally play. So this is the team I expect for tomorrow. And when it comes down to tomorrow's game, I mean, you saw it there. Like, I do think that it will be like relatively like not super low block, but relatively like compact team, mid to low block. Barcelona will probably line up something like this, like Ferran, Olmo, we have Casado, we have Pedri, Kubarsi, Eric, Jules Koundé, and then Gerard Martin slightly pushed on, and then you have like this weird shape, like sometimes Koundé pushing there, and then you can see like as we saw against Madrid beautifully, like there is this diagonality. Like this is genuinely one of the most interesting principles I have seen from Hansi Flick. As you can see, there is this tactical horizontally and there's diagonal lines there, which is like phenomenal. I have to do more research on it, but this is how the shape looks, and this is the lineup we, in my opinion, we can expect from Hansi Flick, and this tactical play that he will do. Like we will have like these players right here, and we will keep majority of the ball, and I do expect this game to be similar to this game where Barcelona have most of the ball, probably like close to 70-71%, and probably close to this XG. And in my opinion, like when it comes down to prediction, I do think that Racing Club can get 1 goal at their home stadium, but I do think Barcelona will in the end score 3 goals. And in my opinion, this game will end in 3-1 victory for Football Club Barcelona. Thank you guys for watching this video. This was this quick preview of the game. I gave you my overall thoughts on the season they have had and explained that they play attacking football, but also told you guys why I don't think it will be the case tomorrow because of this performance against La Real. Also told you guys what we can expect from Hansi Flick. I told you guys my preferred lineup and also compared it with Hansi Flick's lineup and told you about this interesting horizontally like this beautiful tactical phenomenon that Hansi Flick is going for, having these lines, which is interesting. I might have to research more on it and maybe I'll make some kind of video or thread about it. Thank you guys for watching this video. It was Project Blaugrana with you today, guys. It was pleasure. And for tomorrow's game, I do think Barcelona will win 3-1. Thank you guys. Have a great day. Visca Barça. Vamos.